So today I decided to record a video as a dedication to World Mental Health Day. Mental health in general is very important to me. Growing up, I went through depression, I would say a bit of anxiety, but majority depression.
The first time I felt something was strange, I was 14. I woke up in the morning and then I just felt really guilty and ashamed and tired, and just so many feelings that I had inside that I didn't know why I was feeling that way.
My name is Anaïs. I was diagnosed with depression 10 years ago when I was still living in France. And back in May of this year, 2016, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder.
So my name's Farida, I'm bipolar. When I was about 19, I was at university, I went to UCL and I did quite a hard course. I did biochemical engineering and things were okay, but then things kind of went a bit strange.
Having a father in your life is very, very important, because a father plays a very important role in your development and your growth. And I believe with me, growing up without a father has affected me as a boy, as a man, and as a father. But I've always tried to overcome the fatherlessness within my life.
My name is Olive. I've been asked to tell my story of when I suffered from depression. I think the first proper bout kind of started from like 2009. I was kind of the black sheep in the family and I was really insecure about myself. So, things didn't work out. I was just a very insecure teenager. Wasn't really doing what I wanted at school. Wasn't doing as well as everybody wanted me to do.
I wasn't getting like amazing grades in school, in high school. I was getting like E's, U's, F's, G's, and so a lot of teachers kept telling me to bump up my standard and start working harder.
I remember just waking up one morning, getting ready for school, and then I sat down and something just felt really strange in my head. I felt extreme guilt and like fear, and I just didn't want to leave the house. I didn't know why I was feeling like that, and then this feeling started to come more often, like at least once every month. I would feel that way.
When all this was happening, I was actually suffering from depression. When I found out I had depression, things just got a bit worse because now I know what I have.
Stress, going through all these things, loneliness, brokenness, anxiety, losing my auntie. So she was struggling from ill health for many, many years.
Bipolar is something where you have extreme lows with depression and extreme highs with mania. And that's what happened to me when I was 19. I took an overdose of like just whatever I could find. I don't know if my friends around me they were like excluding me, and you feel all paranoid, and I just was saying things like religious things like from the Quran to try and make myself feel better. I was just crying, and then I slashed my wrist actually, and that's the only time I've actually tried to kill myself.
On my French side, people have been quite accepting, but on the other side of my family, which is my mum and my sisters, they've been quite reluctant to accept the fact that mental health is even a thing, that people can experience difficulties with things that happen in their brain rather than their physical health.
I was very, very, very low, and I self-harmed myself like 3 years ago. Cut myself. To the point where my friends stopped talking to me because they said they couldn't bear to see me like that,
Genuine mental health problems such as depression and anxiety, personality disorders, is not actually a thing. It's not a concept that they can fathom. They have called me weak, they've called me privileged, they would call me spoiled and just ungrateful for the life that I've been given. So it has been a struggle for the past 5 years or so, trying to get them to recognize my experience and validate it, which hasn't happened yet.
I experience anxiety attacks quite often. There was nothing for me to kind of point at and say, you know, that's what's making me feel like this. And this feeling kind of would go and come back ever so often throughout my teenagehood and throughout my adulthood, and it was very, very scary to feel like that.
So yeah, I received a message and said that if you are the person that I'm looking for, you are my cousin, and your dad, he's passed away. You see, I felt betrayed and let down. I was a little bit upset, but I was always staying hopeful and praying that one day I will get to meet this man who happened to be my father. But receiving this message on my Facebook that he's passed away, I know that I'll never get a chance to meet him.
So my teacher at school kept telling me, you know, you want a man too much in life, you won't, do anything amazing with your life. And, I never wanted to study because I never believed that education was the road to success. I always believed that it's your mind. And to be fair with you, I never used to think like that until after, I overcame my depression. And I started thinking to myself, I started having suicidal thoughts. Being Muslim as well at the time, I was 15 at the time, so 10 years ago, I'm 25 today, and it was just so many things happening at the same time, and I couldn't really deal with it.
Yeah, then I basically stopped going to work. I just thought I can't do it anymore, and I didn't sleep for 3 days. And when you don't sleep for 3 days, it gets quite bad. And my dad, he drove me to the hospital. I went in and they locked me in there, and I was sectioned under Section 28 of the Mental Health Act. It's the first time I'd ever been in hospital.
Kind of from 2009 to 2013, a lot of things happened, and stuff. And I started uni in 2013, and I got in there, and then in January, I got raped. And miscarriage. Stopped going to classes, stopped caring about my education. It resulted to harming myself and stuff. I even overdosed at one point, and the story is long.
I didn't want to face the world. I didn't want to go out of my safe place, which was my bed. And then my bed became my actual place of comfort, and I never wanted to leave. I didn't want to interact with people. I didn't want to see people. I didn't want to make early appointments. I didn't like to do things in the daytime. At night, I would kind of leave the house more, see friends, everything that I wanted to do I did at night, not in the daytime.
And then I lost my job because of health grounds in 2013. The thing is, people at the time thought when I was just being lazy, or when people say you're bipolar, when you say you're bipolar, you can't see it. It's like it's a hidden thing. Like depression, mental illness is hidden. But when only you talk about it, then people can see what you're like. You're just like everyone else, but your mind's just a bit messed up. But my mind is, at the moment, it's quite stable, but I'm on medication right now. I've just come up for my 3rd section. So that's when you're locked up. So I was locked up for just 10 days this time. It was a bit like a hospital visit because I'm pregnant right now.
So from losing my father, my auntie, being excluded from my own kids' life, and losing my stepfather, the only father I knew growing up. All of that together forced me to be visited by 5 strangers. Depression, stress, anxiety, loneliness, and brokenness. And for me, being in London, I was sleeping in my car, I was staying in hostel, I was homeless for many months.
If home is where the problem lies, you've got family problems, etc., school is where you run to. It's like you feel free, you feel like I don't want to go back home. For me, I had problems in both. So I think that's when my depression, suicidal thoughts, that's when they came through. I didn't like the way my life was. Back then, it was just really, really crap. And I think the fact that I am Muslim, and it really hits people a lot because there's a lot of stigma around it in the Muslim community.
I come from a background where basically there's no such thing as depression. It's like depression and anxiety and all these things, and even mental health. Often I was told to basically pray more, do my salah, turn to God, these kind of things. And it was like, my faith is there, my faith is strong. I'm praying, I'm praying to God, I'm asking for help, I'm doing all these things, but something was missing. It's like there's a gap and it hurts.
So the kind of things I've received, going through depression was like, get over it, go outside and have fun, make friends, socialise with people. But they didn't really understand that it wasn't that easy for me, and being a Muslim as well at the time. The thing is, I didn't tell my family. My mum caught me when I was self-harming. I was at school, and then I come back home and she gave me a lecture because she found a bunch of matchsticks outside my windowsill.
But then things between my mum and I got really bad, and then I decided that I needed space, otherwise I would get depressed again. I left and stayed with a friend.
Most of the time, even the people closest to you, who you would think want the best for you, sometimes can be toxic and can have a poisonous influence in your life.
I had bad relations with my family. They weren't talking to me. My father died, and it kind of woke me up and made me realise that all this is, stupid. Like, all these arguments and I was sad. Before he died, I was depressed and sad, and I had no self-worth. But then when he went, that all plummeted down, because I was close to my dad, and having him gone kind of made me, create a hole in my heart. It just made me a stronger person.
But the kind of negative things that people say are like, you're lazy when you're depressed, you just can't be bothered, or just pull your socks up. And when you're high, they're like, oh, why are you having such a good... You think you're having the time of your life. And it's like, yeah, I'm having the time of my life finally. Like, why are you stopping me from, doing all the things I want to do? The negative things that people say are just like, they just don't understand where you're coming from. And that's where the stigma needs to, be removed, that everyone goes through their own stuff and you have to understand, you have to talk about it.
It's been quite a roller coaster, and it's crazy to see where I am today. But I just want to really touch on one of the things that I really hate, or the one thing that I went through that really does frustrate me, which is when people used to say to me, get over it. Oh, just go outside and have some fun, You shouldn't be seeking attention. No one's going to marry you. What are you going to do? You've got jinn. You need to go see an exorcist. Why are you always upset? Don't you know that we have Allah? This world's the test. Allah's testing you. Get over yourself.
The doctor would say it was anxiety, and then after a bit I'd go again and he'd say it was depression, and then they were giving me medication, and medication was just not working with me, and I found it very difficult, and it was all really, really hard. And then I got diagnosed with something called premenstrual dysphoric disorder, and everything made sense. And then I was given medication again, and the medication that I was on was a very, very strong dosage, and I was feeling anxious. I had thoughts of suicide. I wanted to disappear. I never wanted to die. That's the thing. I never wanted to die, but I never wanted to be here. You feel like your mind is betraying you, because your body's ready. It's ready to do things, and you're still young, and you have your whole life ahead of you, but your mind is playing tricks on you. It's telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, and it's making you scared of your future. The worst part for me is when I do say I feel like this or I feel like that, I feel like people then try to bring their own experiences in, and then they try to undermine my experience by telling me that they've gone through this and they're fine, and they go through similar stuff every day, but they just get on with it. And that whole idea of get over it, is all in your mind, is so painful for me to hear, because if I could just get up and get over it, I would have done that like a long time ago.
There's someone that sent me this. It's from a book by a guy called Matt Haig, if I pronounce his surname correct. It's called Reasons to Stay Alive. And there's a page in the book. It lists things people say to others with depression or mental health that they don't say to people with other life-threatening illnesses such as cancer, TB, you name it. And I'm going to read you an extract from this book. Come on, I know you've got depression, but it could be worse. At least no one died. But you know, people can die from depression, because the more people who say that to them, it would lead them to commit suicide.
I don't want to remember my 20s for being, all doom and gloom, depression and counselling. I do go counselling to help me. I just talk and it helps me.
Basically, I don't know what else to say other than, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
I have found validation through other avenues, at university, through my friends, through my professional and work experiences.
I built myself up. I really plugged into personal development. I listened to a lot of podcast audios, watch a lot of YouTube videos, such as Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Darren Hardy, Brandon Brashard. This has allowed me to really grow into the man that I am today.
You've got to work hard at it, and no one's going to help you until you help yourself. I've been married for nearly 13 years now. You don't need money to achieve what you want to do, and that's the thing. You just do what you got to do. Just enjoy your life.
I've learned to love myself. I've learned to take things easy. I've learned to just do stuff on my pace and not to explain too much to people. I feel like I don't want to give away too much of myself, and I'm here to support myself rather than look out and look elsewhere for that support and help.
I guess the positive lessons I've learned is that no matter where you go, people might not accept you for what you are. People might try to tell you who and what you are. People try to tell you who you should be. People try to define what is success. You have the power to define who you want to be.
So anything is possible. You know what I mean? If I can do it, then anyone can do it. If this young country boy from Jamaica can come to the UK and really make something of himself, I believe that anyone can do it.
Be yourself and just embrace who you are. Your mental illness is a blessing in disguise. It's not even that much in disguise. When you see what it is, you can open your mind up and you can see colours when you're happy, and when you're depressed you can see the reality of life and you see the truth and everything.
I've also got a lot of great people around me who are doing exceptionally great things, who feel the same way as me at times, and we bond over the success that we have.
If I could give some advice, I would say that your strength lies within you, your potential lies within you, and only you know what you are capable of. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your capabilities. You have to believe in your potential.
Everyone deserves to be happy. Everyone deserves to smile. Everyone deserves to be true to themselves, be who they are. Because I was feeling like I couldn't be who I was. I was so ashamed of myself. For what reason, I don't know. And I hope whoever's watching this just, learns from everyone's experiences, whatever they may be, and, makes something sweet out of whatever life throws at you. Even if it's something as, hollow and as sad as death. But something good can happen, and something positive can come out of even the darkest of storms. So
if you can really connect with that part of you that wants to fight, then truly nothing is impossible.
Even though when people find out I had it, I still overcome it myself, and I did it myself. So I'm really happy I came out and I am where I am today. Don't give up. It's never too late. And things will always work out if you have enough belief in yourself. And you surround yourself with the right people. Trust me.
La 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 la